Cast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hey everybody, this is Patrick Tuttle welcoming you to our webinar today. Um, Robert Stone had invited you to this. Apparently he's having some significantly bad weather and will not be able to participate with us in terms of any conversation or feedback in terms of the webinar we're about to see. We thank you for coming. What you're going to learn today and see is what we call Ranking Factory. And it is a series of processes using strictly Google itself in a more white hat automated way to get Google to rank itself by utilizing its own properties. So that could be any niche, any money site, any video, any image, any website. Doesn't really matter. What you're going to learn today is the process of how to do that and how you're going to be able to accomplish those goals. And you can take what we're going to share with you today and do this manually because we're going to go through the steps of, in many of the cases here of how to do some of the things that we've automated for you. But, someone always says, well, yeah, you guys always say you can rank anything. Well, I'm not sure that you can rank anything, and I don't know that that's a really good statement. But in order for us to go forward here, can you all let me know whether or not you can hear me by giving me a 1 in the chat box? Okay, great. Good. So it looks like everybody can hear me okay. Super. So what we're going to start off with here is just to say that, I don't claim that you can rank anything. I do claim that you can potentially rank anything. It all depends on the amount of hard work and effort that you put into it. We have in the past been able to use similar processes that we're going to share with you today and some of the exact same processes to take rip-off report and move it off the front page of Google by utilizing these concepts and by replacing those spots on the front page of Google with many of the properties that you're going to see us develop today. How would you guys like to all be able to go to a rip-off client and say, hey, for $5,000, we can knock you off the front page. We can't get rid of you, but we can maybe put you on the second page. Do you think you might be able to get some clients, if you were able to say that? Yes, it would be cool, Blake. Absolutely. And we've done that in the past. With one of the clients that we began to do this process with a year ago, and the program has just developed into what you're going to see today. So we got 2 real special guests with us today, Dr. Leon, and Dr. Leon has taken the original concept of the Ranking Factory to a different level, and we're going to share with that today with you some of the things that he's come up with, along with Gary Afron, who's the co-owner, and the two of them collaborate a lot. Because when you hear Dr. Leon, go through this process and think that Gary and he think a lot alike together, that's kind of a scary thought. And then we have with us our super trainer and super user, Terry Powers. And Terry has taken the product that we've built to some different levels that we never even began to think about. He's going to share a couple things with you today, and maybe a success story of how he turned $1 into 1,000. So with that being said, I'm going to just kind of go ahead and turn this over to Dr. Leon, and he's going to share with you, the process as we've developed it so far. So Leon, it's all yours, my friend.
All right. I'd like everybody to give me a 1 if they can hear me okay. Let me know, Patrick, what you see.
Yep, you got them.
Okay. We're basically going to start across the tab, and the first section we've got is called short URLs, and so we're going to open that up. And inside that tab, we can actually do several things in here, but we're working partially with Google Shorties in here. And so if you have a link, you can basically paste it in right here, and then if you want a shorty, you just pick the number you want and hit run, and you'll get that number of shorties for that particular link. If you
might want to show them that real quick, but let me interject. This is a very powerful process, and Google has decided to dismember this product itself. So what Dr. Leon's going to show you is something that we were using for a year, and it was very powerful. But as of, I believe, the end of this month, Google Shorties are going to no longer be valuable to Google. They're changing their whole environment over there for that. Has any of you heard about that at all? Give me a 1 if you have, or 2 if you have not. David has heard about it. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. So it caused us a certain amount of distress, knowing that we had a really good environment here, as Leon's sharing with you. So what Leon came up with is something that actually makes Google Shorties look like a 2-foot human being standing next to a 20-foot tall giant. And although the Google Shorty is going to be available for till the end of the month, I believe, and it will last for a year. So if anybody participates and wants to do that, you've got till the end of the month for those links to last. But I think you may not even want to deal with that once Leon shares with you some of the really cool things that we've done to replace that. So just wanted to bring that to everybody's attention if you had already known Google Shorties was in distress. Sorry, Leon.
If we put a link in there, we can choose a number, whatever you want, let's say 5, and simply hit run and give it a few seconds, and your shorties will start popping up right here. And so all those shorties will point back to that link. Now, the interesting thing, which I've never seen another tool be able to do, is you can drop multiple links in here and pick any number you want. If you just want to do 1-to-1, you can run 1-to-1. For all those, you'll get a shorty for each one. If you want to do multiple, like 5, if you say you've got 5 different links in here, you hit run, you'll get 5 different shorties for each one of those links. So this is still a very useful tool at the moment. If you use Google Shorties currently, and in other words, you're logged in when you can use them, you will still have access to that for a year. So you've got a little while yet before that goes away. But that's one of the things we're doing with Google Shorties. Then in here, we've also got the YouTube variants, which is very important. And if we drop a YouTube in like this and actually put the title in here, we actually have different accounts we can set up in here, and we do it with an API. So this is how fast you can go from one account to the next. I mean, it's just that slick. You don't actually have to log into your accounts once you loaded them, set them up through the API. Then it's just a matter of clicking on which one you want to go to, and then hit the run button, and you're going to do what you're going to do in that account. So basically, the YouTube variants, once you've got the title and in here, you would just hit run, and it would set up a document with all the variants connected through Shorties.
How many variants are there, Leon?
It's over 100 variants at the moment, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, those are.
I want you to shoot. Run it so they can see it run. Go ahead.
Run the variants.
Yeah, just hit YouTube and run it. You don't have to run them all, but just do it and hit so they can see it run.
It's gonna take a minute. Let me grab it.
Yeah, we could just stop it after a couple, but it just shows how easy and how fast it is for that to work. And then the other portion of that, what we used to do with these Google Shorties is create the buffer doc as well with those. So, but let him run this for you real quick, and you could see.
Yeah, I mean, it'll take a couple of minutes, but
just run the YouTube variant.
Once you set it up, you just hit the YouTube variant button, and that's how fast the actual HTML part sets up. And then here it goes, and you're done.
So if you click on any one of those links, it will take you back to one of the variants of your YouTube. But the interesting thing is, with this particular tool, as fast as it is, you now have all of those YouTube variants with that with your keyword in there as well for your anchor text on all of those. So it's very fast, very useful, and there's a lot of things that Terry kind of comes up with in utilizing some of these things that we never even intended when we built it. We just built it for speed and to get the links. Okay. So Blake, does that make sense for you? Cool. All right. Very good. Move on, Leon. Awesome.
Okay. So it's all yours, Terry.
So I'm going to make Terry the presenter here. Let me see if I can do that real quick. Terry, you're on mute. You can unmute yourself. There you go. So Terry, give everybody just a little bit of 1 minute background about what you do. How do you make your living?
I make my living with SEO, mostly local SEO. I mean, although I live in North Carolina, I've got clients in Dallas and San Francisco, Chicago, a lot here in North Carolina also, but local to them anyway.
Mm-hmm.
That's my main way of making a living, is doing SEO for clients.
And how was your life BRF and ARF?
Well, you know, a while back, Gary, who's on here, came up with this system for ranking videos, and I said, oh, that sounds good. And I tried it and it worked. And I said, I wonder if it'll work on websites. And I tried it and it worked on websites too. It's just a whole lot of work. This software automates all that. So instead of spending a day setting up a campaign and setting up a stack of a bunch of properties, creating the properties, gathering all the content, you know, I can do that now in half hour. So it saves me a lot of time.
Cool.
I had this is about a month or so ago, I had a meeting with a potential client, a national client, but he sat down and he was referred to me, and we sat down at a Panera, and he said, well, I'll tell you, he said, I've got a website I love. It's a crappy website, but, and this is important, the owner loves it. So he says, but in the last year and a half since I've had this website, I've only gotten 2 calls where people said, I you know, got your information from your website. He said, so most of my calls are coming from his sales, you know, cold calling and reaching out, leaving his business cards, things like that. And I had looked at his website before we met. I'd gotten the domain, looked at it, but once he told me he loved his website, I'm like, okay, got to have a different tack now. So I told him, I said, well, I've been playing with this fairly new software, and I think I can help you out, get your website out there more, so you get some more calls. And he said, well, what's it going to cost me? And I gave him a quote, and he goes, I don't know if I can afford that. And I said, well, let me ask you this. Have you got $1? And he said, yeah. And I said, okay, I'll tell you what, give me the $1, hire me right now. Let's sit down in 10 days, and you can either decide to continue with me, but it won't be $1, or we'll just walk away. And he said, well, that's fair enough. So he gave me $1, and I started working on it with these factory tools, the different modules and stuff. And when I got back with him 10 days later, he said he'd gotten several calls in the last 2 days, because I didn't have him ranking everywhere in a day anywhere. It took a while. And I showed him about 20 different cities around the country that would be beneficial to him, where his website was now ranking on page 1. Not always at the #1 spot or anything like that, but on page 1, where it wasn't before. And he said, where do I sign? You know, he was ready. So, you know, he signed for $1,000 a month, and I still, you know, run this ranking factory for him on a regular basis. I don't do it every day, but I don't have to. And it would have taken me all 10 days to get all the work done that I did in a few hours in preparation.
Yeah, before you had all the tools and the power of the tools, right? So
right, before it was all automated, and it has some stuff that I wasn't doing manually, and some stuff that
Okay.
Takes a lot longer than I was doing manually. But can everybody see my screen, which just has?
I can see your screen. Yes, sir.
Okay. This is the first screen you come to, where you put in your APIs. You click here to get your APIs, and then you put in your accounts, an email and a password. And if you want to take a second to notice that that's not even a Gmail, Google doesn't care. Okay. Anyway, you put in an account. You can put in however many accounts you want. That's up to you.
Well, what's the importance of having different accounts, Terry?
Well, it allows you to, any of these modules that you run, you can then run them from another account immediately after that, switch to a third account, a fourth, however many accounts you want to put in the software. So you can set up these Google properties on lots of different Google Drives.
Mm-hmm.
All
and
of
that's
them,
important, right?
Right. Mm-hmm. All of them having links to whatever your target URL is eventually. They're sending link juice to each other where they're linked together, all the juice funneling until finally then there's a link that goes straight to the target URL.
So by doing that, what we're basically saying is we're trying to share with everybody here the simple concept that Google loves Google. Very simple.
Right, right. It's in the same way that if you if you know video SEO, you know that you want to have several videos in a channel linking to each other and in a playlist that links to them, because those links bounce around between them and get more powerful. And we're doing the same thing, but not just with Google. I mean, not just with YouTube, with other Google properties also. Now I just switched over to this page in the Ranking Factory, one of the other tools that creates HTML pages, which is why it's called HTML Creator in OctiStacker. And I put in here a YouTube URL, embed of a Google map that I built, some keywords, a target URL, and then a little article. Up here I've got a title, accounts. I put it on into whatever account I want, doesn't matter. And these are some LSI keywords, some variations on my main keyword. These will only appear in the metadata. So humans aren't going to see them, but Google will take note of them and note that they relate in some way to the main keyword. These keywords over here, by clicking this button, it's going to create live links from these keywords to my target URL, whatever that target URL is, and however many keywords I put in there. I don't recommend putting more than a dozen or so, but once I do that, I can preview what it will look like when I create an HTML page. It'll have my video, my article, my map I created, and my keywords.
Are those keywords linked to anything, Terry?
Yes, they're all linked to my target URL now.
Okay, wow.
And you'll notice they're off to the side. I'm going to fix that. And this is the name, address, and phone. And I want to put them in a slightly different look too. So come back over here. I can pretty easily take this, and we're going to paste this in here. This just tells the HTML page I want to break between those so that they'll line up better. And I'm going to put a center tag on my keywords so they're not just straggling off to the side there. They'll in a closed center tag there. Now it looks more, I think looks better. There's my name, address, phone of the business, my Google map that I created, and my keywords are down here and are all linked to my target URL. So once I got it the way I want it, thanks to this software. And if you know HTML, you could do all this by hand. But why? Now that this software is available. So once I got it the way I want it, I can go over here to this cloud stacker where I can put in different cloud accounts.
Okay, wait, does everybody know what a cloud stacker is, or does anybody actually know what the cloud is and what it does? Give me a 1 if you do, or 2 if you don't.
Okay, a cloud is just a bunch of servers out there, not all sitting right together, which protects them in case of a tidal wave or a hurricane or anything like an ice age, global warming, whatever. The servers are spread out, so it's a cloud, it's a net. Anyway, Amazon has one. Okay, Google has one. Microsoft has one. Note, when I click these, it's putting them down here in a particular order, but I can change this order if I want. It's not a big deal. I can put any amount of them on there. My accounts, I've named my accounts whatever I want to name them. I've got a Google Cloud account named Testing. I've got another one for SEO Stack, so I can use that one. You can have more than one cloud account. So if I get, this will look at what kind of stuff I'm using for my, in that Amazon account. And this will work for that one.
What's a bucket?
Bucket is just a receptacle on a server on the cloud. So you pay for space on these servers. For instance, if you have an Amazon cloud account and you use 100 gigabytes of space, it might cost you $1.83 or something. You are paying for this space at some point, but it's really cheap. And Google Cloud will give it to you for the first year for free. Well, not for free. They'll give you a $300 credit. And so then when you do accrue these small charges, they'll take it off that $300 that you never paid them in the first place. Microsoft will give you, I believe it's 30 days free, and then a $200 credit for 12 months. Again, so you're not going to pay for it because these little HTML files are small. You're not going to worry about loading them up and having to pay for that. That's not a big deal.
So is it hard to, Terry, one of the people is asking, how do they make cloud accounts? I mean, we actually, part of the software makes the cloud account for them, correct?
Yeah, you'll set up, see this tab that says cloud accounts.
Yep.
You'll take your Amazon, if you go to Amazon.com and do a search for S3 or AWS, Amazon Web Services, you can create a cloud account. Anybody can. And incidentally, they'll give you 100 buckets.
Mm-hmm.
If you get close to using 100 buckets, then you've put a lot of stuff out there. But then you can say, please, sir, can I have some more? And they'll give you more buckets. You just tell them, they'll say, how many more do you need? And if you say, I need another 50, they'll give you 50. If you say, I need several hundred more, they'll give you several hundred more. They don't care because they know if you use enough of them a long time, they're going to get paid for them anyway. So with Microsoft, they call their account Azure because that's the color of the blue Microsoft screen of death. So they're sort of poking fun at themselves with that, calling it Microsoft Azure. Google, if you go to cloud.google.com with a Gmail address, you can set up a cloud account. You have to give them actual information because if ever you burn through the $300 and you still have it after a year, they're going to want to know they are getting money from the right person. So you need to use actual information when you set these up. They're not dummy accounts. They're your accounts. Okay, but
cool.
And you can set up, with GitHub and pCloud and Alibaba. There's lots of cloud companies out there. So
cool.
With this stack, I've got 3 of them checked. Okay, and I've picked a bucket in each one, an account in each one. And this HTML page is what I want to load up in the buckets. I mean, yeah, load up in the cloud. So to do that, I click this button that says Cloud Stack. I just clicked it, and there's an Amazon cloud. Oh, there's a, I'm going to go, they're all three done now. But let me go back to the first one here. You see it says S3 Amazon AWS. That's an Amazon cloud. And this is posted on one of their buckets now. And is live, and anybody that goes to this URL will see it. This one is, see, it says Google API. This is from Google Cloud. This one is from Windows Azure Cloud. So all three of these clouds are created out there that quickly. And remember, this is a Windows one. If I were to click on this is a live link. It takes me to the Google version, to Google Cloud. Now I'm in the Google Cloud. If I click on the Google Cloud link, that takes me to the Amazon. In other words, they're stacked. So links from this one go to this one, go to this one.
Okay, can anybody, first off, did everybody see how fast that was done, or did you miss it? I missed it. It was too fast, right?
And also on each of these, we have live links, we have a map that you can actually, you know, navigate around. They're live maps. So
now what's the real briefly, why are we cloud stacking? Okay, so let me just suggest this. If you go do a research on Amazon and find the domain authority, give me a 1 if everybody knows what domain authority is, or 2 if you don't have a clue. Okay, 1. Okay, so if you have a domain authority of 90, and then you have a link from that domain authority of 90 to another cloud stack that has a domain authority of 80, and you do another cloud stack that has a domain authority of 70, can you guys see how powerful the final product that will be on the internet and could possibly rank, because you have all of this domain authority shoving the site up? Does everybody understand the power of stacking by just that example that Terry just shared within the HTML file? Okay. Give me a 1 if you understand it, please. You get it, you get it, you get it. Oh boy, unbelievable, unbelievable. Yes. So that's how we're using Google, you know, within the cloud stacking platform, as you see, Terry, to be one of the major cloud stackers that we're using to pass that juice along to those sites, right? So Terry, in the example of your client that you got, did any of these cloud stacking sites actually rank for you?
oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah. Keep in mind, like this one I've highlighted here is hosted by Windows. This is a Microsoft website, even though I put the stuff on it. You know, I've entered a contract with Microsoft. They'll let me use one of their websites to put my stuff on it. So this is a Microsoft, a Windows website. So it has some authority, and it links to a Google, because the order I have them here, it links to a Google website that I built and Google lets me put there. So the Google one is carrying not just its own juice, link juice, but also the link juice of a Microsoft product.
Wow.
The two of them are then linking to this Amazon one. Amazon's a big dog too. You probably heard of them.
Yep.
Just these three are big. Don't let me get into Alibaba size-wise either. Alibaba wants to be Amazon and Google.
So basically what we've done here, guys, is what Terry is sharing with you is we've automated the process, which is nothing wrong with it. You can do this on your own. You can go create the clouds, you can go create your HTMLs, and then you can run them up on the buckets, and then you can go get the link and come back and do it again and go run it again and get the link and come back and do it again. You can do that as many times as possible, but I don't think you're going to be able to do it in less than the blink of an eye, which saw this happening once, you know, you hit the go button and the setup is all done.
And towards the end of last year, we were doing this by hand. And I'll tell you right now, the best part of Ranking Factory Revolutions is the Skype group that accompanies when you get in here. The Skype group is all sorts of ideas bouncing around. And last year, when we were bouncing around ideas of stacking all these different properties, stacking a Google site and a Google map and a Google Calendar and a Google Drawing, and stacking all that stuff together, we started saying, well, what if we stacked it, used a cloud property to stack it? And then we started stacking, cloud to cloud. But this all had to be done by hand. There was no software to do it for us.
Right.
And it's amazingly powerful. Not only can I get the juice from these three major players here, if I wanted to, I could copy this, go over here, and decide that all my links should point to that Amazon page. This will be redone by the software so that the links all point to that Amazon page when it's there. It's done now. So now it would look the same, but the links will be going to the Amazon. I can go back here and move that Amazon down a couple and hit it again.
Run it again.
And now there's it just created 3 new ones. It created the Google one, the Windows one, and the Amazon one. So those first 3 were all pointing to this Amazon one, which now points to the Windows one, which then points to the Google one. So I'm starting to get a circle going here of cloud properties, all adding their juice on and going as they go. And
I think that's illegal. I don't think you can do that. That should be illegal.
And there's a button here if you want to copy and paste these and keep them for later, so when you come back, you can run more.
Terry, do you have one? Terry, do you have one
account? I can switch to a different account and do it again if I want.
Do it all over again, right? That was the importance of having a number of different accounts up there, because now that you've seen what Terry can do, he could just log into another, switch accounts, and do it all over again, and then switch accounts. Just
as fast. This stuff stays in here, and
right.
I can even save it. So if I'm going to shut down my computer, I'm not on a laptop, but if I were on a laptop and I'm going to shut down the computer and head somewhere else, and to come back and do it later, then I could load back up what I had left before. I wouldn't have to go copy and paste all this stuff back in here again.
Hey, Terry, I know it's usually proprietary information and people don't like to share, but is it possible you could go to one of the pages that was built and show it ranking on the first page with the AWS for the people here? It's okay if you don't want to. Someone asked me, so I ask all the questions they ask. That's all.
Okay. Body armor. Okay. These folks right here. There's their phone number. This is the metadata I put in there. This is an Amazon page.
Okay. Everybody give me a 10 if you think that is cool. Look at that. That is an AWS Amazon link. No hosting costs, no domain costs, 100% free, and he's able to take that process in the Ranking Factory, phone number and all, and it is now ranked right there for that client. You think you guys could do that and get some clients for yourself by utilizing this process the way Terry did? Just pick somebody on page 2 of Google, take a shot at building them something, and then show them on page 1 and go collect money. How cool would that be?
If I run this, run a stack to one of these, and then I come back and check in a few days and it's not ranking, I can just change it to a different account and run it again. I mean, or if I get really bored and I decide I want to dominate the front page, so I need a little more juice. It's in English now. I can translate it to some other language. I don't speak French, but if I want to translate it to French, I click that button. It's going to change this where it says some important top qualities, for instance. Like I said, I don't know what that is in French, but I'll know in a second here. It's thinking. Okay, there we go. Qualités importantes. I don't know. Whatever it is. Anyway, the page now would look like this. It's in French. Okay? Same links. The links still work. The links are just going to be in French now. You know.
Can I get a wow from anybody?
In fact, I'll show you something here. These links, you'll notice, are still in English. That's because I didn't redo this. If I redo it, now using the French words here, it's redoing them in French. And
so Olivier's from Quebec. So you picked the right language, right?
so then it has, now the links are, everything's in French, and I can go to OctiStacker and run them all in French if I want.
Isn't that amazing, guys? And now you can run this in every single language. Now, what's the importance of doing that? You know, if somebody gives me the right answer and you follow us through the end, I'll give you a special bonus. But what do you think the value of running 23 different stacks in 23 different languages could be to your client or to your website? Does anybody have an idea?
And that 23 stacks is per account.
Correct.
You know, if you put 50 accounts in here, hey, whatever, as many Gmail accounts as you want, load them up. But that's what you can do. That's what you can do with just this module right here.
If that's all we had to sell, you'd still pay, you know, boatload of money for it because that's how powerful it is. But think of it this way, right?
It's worth the price on the box.
How many of those carry backlinks, Terry, to all of your sites? Every one, right?
Every one of them. Not only does it carry backlinks, it carries link juice from Google and Microsoft and Amazon. You know, so the links are powered up. They're not just a standard link from somewhere.
Hey, here's a good question. If you do such a good job, which happens, and the client says they don't need you and stops paying, what do you do with these links?
Well, actually, you can take a tool here like this link grabber and get all those links, whatever they are. You get your properties, and wherever that juice is going, like in this case, it was going on this particular one, was going to one of the Amazon properties from before. With the cloud, I could go into my cloud account and just delete the bucket and they'd all be gone. Or if I've set this stack up correctly so that all the juice from everything I've run here goes through a Google site, which has a link to my page, whatever the target URL is, then I would only have to go to the Google site, change that link, and all that juice would now go to his competitor across the street.
So it solves the problem for us, Drew.
Because if you do a good job, there's a good chance you're going to get fired. They're going to think they don't need you anymore. And even if you explain to them that it's an ongoing process, you know, if I've got good relationships with my clients, and I don't imagine that any of them are going to fire me, but I could be wrong. I've gotten fired before for doing a good job. So, but just in case, I can go in and change a link and direct all that juice somewhere else.
All right, great, Terry. Man, that was awesome. Thank you very much.
Uh-huh.
Now, as awesome as that was, I'm going to have Dr. Leon come in and show you something. Is there such a word as awesomer?
Well, keep in mind, folks, that was just this one module.
Yes. So, Leon, are you ready?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
I got to go to the store and get some Depends, but I'll be right back. But here's a great thing. Doubl, kind of made a great point here. Terry, do you target Google Doc or Google Site, or does it matter?
I'm not sure what he means by do I target.
Well, what is your target money site? Does it make a difference? Is it a Google Doc? Is it a Google Site?
It really is up to you. Generally, the best way to do it is to go to a single URL, whatever it is, from which you can disperse the juice to inner pages, if it's a website, to your video, your playlist, other videos in the playlist, things like that. If you see this image right here, you can see this is showing, and just so you know, this doesn't even have Alibaba Cloud on it. But anyway, or B Cloud for that matter. But this is doing these cloud stacks in different languages. So that's 5 languages with 5 clouds in each one, and that doesn't even include, this is all just from one Google account. If you have several Google accounts, you can do this again in each account. So all that juice just keeps flowing up till it goes to your eventual target. And the target can be any property that has a URL.
Okay, very good.
Google My Business page, a map, a video, a playlist, anything.
Terry, Leon, let me make you the presenter, okay, bud?
I already did, I think. I think it's his.
Yep, you got it, Leon. Thank you, Terry. Really appreciate it, man.
So we're going to cross the tab. So the next one is called Link Grabber. And when I came on board to work with Ranking Factory and build things, I'd already contracted to make some software with these guys, and we already had this finished, and we got to working on Ranking Factory, and we decided to put it in here. And what Link Grabber is, and what's really kind of neat about it, is that it can go out and get links for you that you want to backlink to. Now, what's the most important thing when you're trying to backlink something is you got to have that link you want to backlink to. So that's what we're going to do here for a second, is go get some backlinks and show you what we've been up to. So the first thing you got to do is log in with this tool. And so you select your account and log in, and you get your keyword in here you want to search for. And once you're logged in, you can pick what you want to do. In this case, it's a little slow when we're doing Google Drive stuff. And for those who don't know, Google has changed their G sites over to the Drive. And we were a little ahead of that curve as we actually built our G sites over on the Drive before everybody knew it was going to be over on the Drive. And so I'm going to do the new G sites search for some G sites. And it will take a minute, and we actually have to go through kind of a 2-step process. So it's a little bit slow. So if you have some questions you want answered, Patrick.
So the value of what Leon is trying to share with you is that if you go back into your Google Drive, and this is probably going to be an educational statement, everything that you build, every property that you build that's a Google property, you want to put it into your Google Drive. When you put it in your Google Drive, you're going to want to save the URL of that Google document that you're putting in your Google Drive, or you just want to make sure that you're putting it in your Google Drive, and with the Ranking Factory, you'll just be able to click the button that Leon is sharing with you, and what it's going to do is going to go through your entire Google Drive system. He's just doing Google Sites, but it's going to pick up all of your Google Drive, your Google Docs, your Google Sheets, your Google Images, your YouTube videos, and bring all of those into a very simple, easy, common place, so that you now have all those links, backlinks, that you can utilize in a number of different ways that we're going to share with you as Leon moves on. But you can imagine all that power that you're going to be able to build to those properties that shares your website, shares your video, and it's just really that cool. How does it work with? I guess one of the questions is, how does it work with YouTube links in terms of the grabber, Leon?
Let me get the next step going here. once we've got it's kind of a two-step on the G sites. Everything else is a single step, but we've got the first step done, so we're going to go ahead and start the second step, which you click on the new G sites and then you hit search. And here in just a second, we'll actually have our links. But we can actually get links from pretty much any property. And as you can see now, I've got my links for new G sites. And the thing that you're going to see, if you can tell, is we have all the pages for that site. It starts right here going up. We've got the contact us page, you know, your home page, and the other pages. So what we're seeing is that we've got the links for all the different sites I've been building in here. And if we pick one, let me show you an image for some thing that I've been doing here over the last couple of days that just became available to us. In Google Sites, most people just build one site. We didn't want to really do that. You know, we kind of wanted to take it another step. So we now have the ability, there's a little bit of it manually, and I'll show you that in a minute, but we can actually translate our sites into different languages. And so what we do is we grab the link for the first site, and then we put it in here, and then we change it to a different language. And so now that's connected to our first site. And then we grab the link for that site and put it in here. And it's just like your stack over in the cloud, but it does take a little more work. But let's go back over here and take a look at, say, this one here. It's the home page for one of the, and as you can see, it's in a foreign language. Okay, so that's what I wanted to show. We've actually got all of the pages here. This is one of the Chinese languages, either simplified or traditional. I really couldn't tell you. But you've got the about us, the contact us. Now, the thing with the contact us, we don't want to translate it, so it will not be translated so that your information doesn't get distorted in there. But even your privacy page is translated. So that's what we're showing there. Let's see if I can find, which one is it? This one. Home, TVP, home 3, home 2. Let's try this one, see what it is. There's our English version for the site. So let me go through that real quick so you can get a better idea of what the sites are going to look like. So you can see we put our video and we put another image. I just used the thumbnail because it was easy to do. We've got a footer down here, and basically that's kind of the simple. All your other pages are going to look the same. You're using spin text, so each page has different text in there, and so we're basically duplicating. Depends on how many pages you want to set up, and you show you that when we get to that module here in a minute. But that's, we're using different images on the header, or at least I am. You could use the same one, everyone. As you can see, we've got different images in here, and so we basically got 6 pages besides the main page, and then our about us, contact us page and stuff. And so we've got all these pages, and we can put headers, we can put videos, we can put body images, all that stuff. We can even put maps and calendars in there, and in the future we're actually going to have those modules. So basically we're able to now grab these links and take them and do backlinking with them. Now the nice thing about this is it doesn't just do sites. We can do Google Calendars, we can do FeedBurner, YouTube, Blogger, G+, the Google Drive, even Google Photos. So we can grab links from basically any Google property and then go get more backlinks to whatever it is we're wanting to backlink to. And I'll show you the importance of that in just a second. But does anybody have any questions over the grabber, Patrick?
Can you insert some JavaScript into the header of the G sites?
We're not on the G sites section yet, but not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
You can load the metadata in the header image before you load the image.
Okay. So here's a question, and this is a setup question, Blake. I only want to pull 30 specific docs, not my whole drive. So the way that this operates is it looks at all of the URLs that are on your drive by keyword. So if you have 30 specific docs and those 30 specific docs have red shoes in the keyword, and they're the only documents with red shoes, and the keyword that Dr. Leon is sharing with you is red shoes, it will only pull those 30 specific files, okay, based on the keyword. You have another set of docs, blue shoes, change your keyword, pull it, you're only going to get docs for blue shoes, okay? Does that make sense?
All these sites are pulled off of this keyword that I put in here. So anything I ran in a search in any of these others would be pulling in for that particular keyword. You're not going to get anything else other than what's related to that keyword.
Right. So, yep, that's it. Move on, Dr. Leon. That's awesome. Everybody kind of gets it. It's a pretty simple tool. And by the way, you know, just as we go through these tools, we just want to let you know that we are going to be selling these tools individually, you know, in the ranking store when we get it built here very shortly, but they're all incorporated in the ranking factory revolution at this juncture. Isn't that cool?
So here's the G-Site section, and we have our translate here, the website title. You can name your individual page titles, your home page, about us, contact us, privacy. You got to fill all this information in. You even have the ability to select the different styles and then the different fonts for that particular style. You drop your images in here, and then once you have that, you'll put your spin text article in here, hit spin, and then basically all your pages will have their text, but then you still have to go in and put your header link, your footer link, and connect your images in here. And basically that does take you a few minutes work. The privacy page will be there. What will happen is this will be changed so that whatever your title is will drop in here, and so that will make it so that we can get unique information into even your privacy page and customize it. But what we have here is once we've filled out all that information, and we can actually hit the save button, and it will save all that. So you can open your software again anytime and hit the load button and open up and get your CSV file, click on it and hit open, and boom, all your information is back in there, so that you now have everything all filled out and ready to go and run on any account you want. If you want to change any information in here, you have the ability to do that. Want to change something, the links, whatever. But now you can go in and translate this to whatever language you want to translate it to. And does anybody have a language they would like to see?
French.
French? You do sound a little Frenchy there today.
I am Frenchy.
Okay.
And then
So,
Korean.
we can only do one right now.
I know, but this is the really cool part. You can only do one at a time.
I can only do one without closing the software.
Oh, without the software. But when you reload the software, you can do another language.
Yes. The reason being is that it adds more images each time you do it in here.
Gotcha. Well,
So,
I can close and open it up 25 times in 25 seconds. It doesn't matter.
okay, the translation is working, and there you go. You're now speaking French, Patrick.
Oui.
So there's your French site ready to run, and you can simply click another account and load it up into that account. Whatever account you want to run it into, you now have the ability to run it in up to 24 different languages.
24, 23. Yeah, 24 because we added Thai.
We added Thai, so it's 25 now, plus your English. So basically, we can do this numerous times. And I want to show you what we were talking about a minute ago.
It's Google Translate.
Google Stack, the site stack with the language. Now, and you have to do one at a time, And so there's a little bit of manual work, you know, it takes you a couple of minutes, whatever. And then you let the thing run for however long it takes to run to make the site, and then you do the next one and the next one. Well, I had this English site, and then I decided I wanted to run a couple languages once we got the load and save in there. So I did that one day, and then the next day I come in and did a couple more. And let me show you what happened after I did those last two. I had 2 on page 1, and now I had 5 after I did the last one. So I had a 5 stack in there, and basically it took me to the front page of Google with 5 of my videos on the front page ranking. And so that's the kind of thing you can see in here. And that's basically our Google Sites. You've got all these things to fill out, but once you've done it once, like I said, you hit save, and then anytime you want to bring that back up, if you're going to use that content again for another site or another account, just go into load and bring it back up, and you're ready to run it, translate it, whatever you want to do. So that's kind of the power of our Google Sites at the moment.
Can you show one of the sites that it created? Someone wants to see a final version.
That's why I kept this up, Patrick.
Yes, sir.
That is German.
Now let's all remember that within the Google Sites themselves, as we do this, what is our main goal here? Our main goal is not to get our Google Sites ranked. However, that does happen. So while you're building these Google Sites, you can also come back in and do a little pretty up of this, or add a calendar here, or do this or that and make them pretty. But let's make sure that we are all on the same page of what the purpose of this is, okay? And that is, we are using these as the most powerful backlinking systems that we possibly can by shoving juice up through the documents and everything that Leon is sharing with you, so that Google site is linked to your money site. It's linked to your video. It's linked to your CPA offer. It's linked to your pay-per-call, okay? So all of what we're trying to do here and share with you is how to create as much possible backlinking juices that you can. And oh, by the way, if you run an href on this, or Moz, or any of the other softwares that looks for backlinks, 99% of everything that we're doing here is not shown as a backlink in those systems. So your competitors will never know exactly what you're doing to crush them. Does that make sense to everybody? Give me a 1 if you understand that, okay? Let's make sure that everybody understands what we're doing. We're not trying to build pretty sites. Now here's the thing that you want to do consider, and that is this, Leon. Some of the sites actually do rank because we do such a good job. So with that being said, you do want to go back and you do want to make sure that the information for your client looks relatively clean and it's not just a jumbled up mess to create backlinks. And that will take over some positions on the first page of Google as well. And as Terry shared with you earlier, some of the cloud stacking is going to show up on as well. So you want to just make sure that we're doing, a diligent job for our client and making them look respectable. But that's not our goal. It does happen, but it is not our goal. So, if everybody understands that, give me a 1, because it's important, because I don't want you to go through this process thinking, oh, we're going to get, all these rankings, which we will do in many cases, but you still have to understand the goal, right? The goal is the backlinking juice to your money site, not ranking Google sites, or not ranking a Google Doc. It happens. Or not ranking a PDF that we create. It happens, okay? So just with that in mind, it's very important for me, for everybody to understand what our goal is and why we're doing this, okay?
Right.
Thanks, Leon.
That's what the image I'm showing is this is your money site, your target site, and the way we typically hook things up is we use what we call a buffer doc, which we'll get to in just a little bit, but that'll be the link inside your Google site, which is pointing you to either your money site or your video. and then we could use another buffer doc pointing to the Google site and connect that to any other Google property, and then backlinking power if we want to use buffer doc behind them. So that's one image. Let me show you. Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. Okay. So that is basically our Google Sites. This is the site in German. Do we have any more questions on the Google Sites, Patrick?
Yeah, can't we just redirect or realcon these if we don't want them to rank over the target URL? Gary, I'm not really going to say that these will rank over your target URL, but it's very possible that some of these will rank on the same front page of Google as your target URL. Does that make sense?
Here's my target URL. And they're
Well,
all
you're on. Yeah, but we don't have a site for that. I mean, if it's a client site, you know,
we have a site. It's right down here, Patrick. You're ranking right below me.
I know. You just had to make that known, didn't you? I haven't done anything to try to rank my site, so there you go.
If you have a client site and they're one of these top 5 right here, and then a Google property is ranking above them, a Google site, Google map, I don't know, one of your HTML, Amazon sites, the client, if these sites are done right, the client's not going to care. What's important is when somebody does this search, the searcher is going to have to scroll to find anybody but your client. So your client's going to own this top half of the page, which is where everybody clicks anyway. And if it's a local client, you're going to have their phone number in these titles. So they're going to be the ones that get called, whether you click on the Google site or the map or the YouTube video or their client's regular site or that Amazon page. It's not going to matter. You're going to call that client. And their crosstown rival, nobody's even going to see them without scrolling. And that will make them happy.
Hey guys, one thing to keep in mind, particularly if you have a phone number or contact in your properties, the top 3 properties are going to get 70% of all the traffic, period.
Wait, you mean my videos are getting 70%?
That's it. They're going to get 70%.
But I've got 5, Gary.
Doesn't matter.
So you get 73%.
Yeah, you're going to get a little bit more there, you know?
Terry's point is valid, guys. You know, our clients want to see their name in lights, and if one of these things starts to rank, and it does happen quite frequently, then you just have to go back and make it pretty so the client is happy.
Well, they're usually pretty. It's just you can clean them up a little more if you want. But let me show you what happens on these Google sites. There's clickable header here. And if you're on any of the secondary pages, when you click on that header, it takes you to the front page. When you click on that header, it takes you to your target URL, which was our buffer doc. And there's my YouTube video linking right there. Okay. So that's, you can target it any way you want, but then if you target it this way, if you ever need to change something, you change this link in this doc and you're done.
So you just change the juice to a different site.
Or a different, whatever, video site, doesn't matter. That's why we set it up with the buffer doc, because now we can go back to the buffer doc, which we're going to get to next. But that's the way these sites are set up, is they all drive the juice from these inner pages to the home page. And we also have a footer which can link out, but it will link out from all pages. So this footer here will actually take you to the same buffer doc, and it will do that from every page. So you have an outbound link at the bottom of all pages, but the other thing is all your pages will drive juice to the front page or the home page. So that's the way these sites are set to run. Does that make a little sense? Any other questions, Patrick?
Nope, we're good. Move on.
Okay, let's get out of sites then, and I'm going to close the link grabber unless we're going to go back to it. I don't think we are. So what we're looking at next is the OctiStacker, and This came about because of the Google Shorty problem here of what, a month and a half ago or so, when Google actually went a little gaga with their shorties, and any property you put, or most of the properties you put that were Google property inside a Google Shorty, they were calling it spam and weren't even letting you use their shorty for a period of time. And so we didn't like that situation, as well as the other situation that was coming up. So I thought about doing something different. So I created this doc section tab, and in the first doc we have our buffer doc. And so basically you drop your title in here, you can select an account you want to drop it to, and then you put your target URL in, you drop an article in, and you can actually put comments in here, and we have the ability to upload it as HTML doc or a PDF doc. And so the nice thing about it, again, just like over on our Google Sites that I showed you, we can save and then load later. So let's go ahead and load one up. So we pull that in, hit that, and bam, we're back in business. We can translate it to any language we want over here if we want to. And then we can upload it to this account by simply hitting upload. So let's see what happens. We've got it in, I want it in the PDF, so let's do the PDF. So we can do that, boom. And just a few seconds. There we go. Here comes our PDF. There is our PDF. There's our comments section that's set up. And if we pull this down and go to details, we actually see our description is filled in with the same thing as our comments. So we have the ability to take care of all of this with one simple upload, and this would be our buffer doc. We could use either the PDF or the HTML version, or we can upload both and use them both if we choose. But that's the buffer doc, and that's kind of how it's set up and run. And then over here we created a keyword doc where we actually do something similar to what we were doing in the cloud. We put in a title. Since it's already got one, it just left it in there. We put in our target URL, but we put a list of keywords in here. We fill in the description, and then we're ready to upload. We've got the same feature in here, which is called save and upload. So if we've saved the previous content, we can simply hit load and go find our file and load everything back. And there we have basically our file set up ready to run to another account. Let's choose one here. It brings you back to the account you originally loaded it in. And so let's try a different language. I like some of the weird ones, Patrick. I don't know about you, but has anybody ever seen Irish?
Irish.
Irish. Aren't you a little Irish, Patrick?
I am. I speak it all the time.
Well, here it is. Read that.
Give me a beer.
That's your Irish translation. So let's upload this one. We'll do it as an HTML. It'll look a little different, but this is our keyword doc, and what we're actually doing, it'll take just a few seconds here, and boom. What we're doing is we're linking. We only have one target URL, so all these keywords are linking back like we did over on the OctiStacker. We're linking all these keywords to that target URL. And so if we click on that, it would take us to our target URL, which was our video. And so that is our keyword doc. And here's the one that I came up with to replace what we were doing with the Google Shorties and the double stacking over there with the Shorties and all that. What I came up with is we would create an article and then stack it 5 deep. Okay, put our target URL in, put our titles in here, and we have a main keyword and a secondary keyword we're going to target inside the article, which we put our article in here, spin text, spin it, and it would fill out the text for all the articles on all 5. And then you have a section to put your comments in down here, and you would go in and put those in as well. And so basically we can get back over here to this section. Same thing, save and load. So let's go find one, and we're going to load it up. And boom, all our content is now back in all of these. I mean, how easy is that? I set it up so you could run it, Patrick.
I am so blessed and pleased. 3 days ago, I don't think we could do this, Leon, could we?
A few more than that, but yeah, that save and load's been in this week. There's another feature that came in overnight, but let me run this one first so you can see what it looks like once we run it. Trying to think, do you want HTML or PDF? Let's go with PDF.
Let's do PDF.
Yeah, let's do PDF on this, and so you can see what's going to happen here.
Watch fast.
I'm going to select a different account though. Let me get this one, and then hit the upload button. And
So,
boom, there's
I'm
one.
sorry, I didn't see anything. Do that again.
There's 3. There's 4.
Wow.
There's 5.
Wow.
So we just stacked our accounts. Let me pull up the graphic.
Wow.
Like this. This is in the PDF side. We've gone, and the last one connects to the fourth one. The fourth one connects to the third. Third one connects to the second. Second one is there, and if we put a buffer doc in there, then that's the target URL. Whatever you put in there for URL, whether it's a buffer doc or something else, that's what it's going to link to. And then if you use the buffer doc, it'll go to your money site or video. And so that is what we have here. So if you can see, we've got our keywords in the article. We've got our comments here. If we pull this over, again, we would have the detail section.
Oh, what's the significance of the comments, Leon?
Well, it gives you a place to add more context, so you're getting even more ability to help, just like your article gives you, pointing you to the information. What Google looks at is basically all the written word. They don't understand anything but the written word. So this gives you more context once you point that to your article. And the same thing with our details. Once we point that to our article, it just gives you more ability to help rank that and give it more context. But right now we have 5 of these stacked deep. And so you can see each one of them has a different or slightly different version of the Spintex article, and it's all in the PDF format. And if we linked, say, to the second one here and clicked on that link, it would go back to the first one. And so all these are linking forward to get to your main one, which is here. And then this one would link out from here to whatever your target URL was. So that's what we're seeing on the image here, is we're pointing it up either to a buffer doc or to your target URL or video if you want to go that direction. So there's multiple ways to run these things. It's not one thing, but let me show you something new, Patrick.
Before you go to new, how many people here, and there's quite a few of us, everybody please answer, how many of you knew that you could upload a PDF to the cloud as opposed to just an HTML file?
It's to your drive, Patrick.
To your drive. Well, I mean, yes, it's to your drive, but also drive equal cloud. Sure, yes. Okay, cool. So there are people that knew that you could do this, but the importance is how fast you saw this happen. I'm not sure that any of you are part of the Power Ranger team, that can move with this kind of speed. So what do you think? All you guys like this? Give me a 1 if you like it, or 2 if you think we're just got our heads in the cloud. Cool. 1, yep. Beyond like, that's cool. Like, yes, like, cool. Okay, thank you. Sorry to interrupt you, Leon.
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to translate this, only we're in English, so we need to get back over here to English. There we go, past it, French, English, there it is. and we're going to translate it into something else. What do we want, Patrick?
Let's do that Korean now.
Korean. Yeah, do that Korean one.
Korean's kind of funky, but okay. I was going to do the Thai. That's really funky. But basically, we can translate all of these articles that we're looking at here, even our text, everything will go into Korean. So once we hit the translate button, it'll take a few seconds because you're basically going back and forth for all of these fields until it gets it. Now you can see we have Korean. Read that off to me, Patrick.
I can only imagine this is the most awesome software that anybody has ever seen and will take my business to a new level.
So that's Korean, but let me show you something even better, Patrick. I need to probably close this. Let's see. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have done the translation. Let's try opening it back up. See if we've got anything. Yeah, it's still in there.
You can load back one of your other ones though, can't you?
Yeah, in here you just can't do it in G sites. So I'm just going to go back and load it. So in here you can reload the because the image keep adding more. So we want to get back to English for what we're going to do here, because there's a little button down here. I don't know if anybody's noticed, but it says Enable Translation Stacker. Let's hit that and then come over here to our new screen, which, does that look familiar, Terry?
Oh, what's that?
That's cool.
Let's see. I'm not going to do every language. It will take too long. So let's let everybody choose 3 languages. Can you guys give us some languages? We've got Iceland, Hindi, Hebrew, German, Farsi, French, 2 Chinese, Arabic, Welsh, Thai, Spanish, Russian, Portuguese, Korean.
Russian, Portuguese, Spanish.
Russian. That was first. That's what you said. Then you said Portuguese.
Mm-hmm.
And then you said Spanish. So they're in that order. If you want to change the order, you can. Does that look familiar, Terry?
Flip and wait.
Yep. That's cool.
Okay.
Terry, we haven't seen this part yet, dude. This is crazy.
No, I'm gonna go play with this. I've got this version.
Oh
I just
my
haven't
God.
used it. I haven't.
Gary, do you have your extra depends on?
Wow.
Hey, I'm waiting to watch it run. Just like
Okay.
everybody else.
There's a, beside the upload button now, there's a, once we hit that little button over here, there's a run translation stack button. Now here's the cool part. Watch this baby.
Oh my gosh. Hey, everybody that's on this call, I just want you to understand this was not live for us to even see before we set up this go-to meeting. So, you know, Leon is on the development side and the testing side, and he didn't tell us that he was going to show this to us. So this is something new for us. I think we should take it out. What do you guys think? Should we take it out of the offer because it really wasn't part of the product to start with? What do you think?
Russian. Here comes Russian.
Oh, if you take it out, I won't buy? Okay. One of the things about what we do, for all you guys that are on the call, Gary and myself and Leon and Terry, we're kind of like in the older generation.
Hey.
I know. I said kinda. Gary and I are over 67, and we believe in one thing. If you buy something from us, you never pay for it again. If you
Here comes Portuguese.
think about what a lot of other these churn and burn guys do, they build a software, you buy it, then they fix it, you buy it again, then they fix it, you buy it again, they fix it, and you buy it again. We are on version 1.6 from 1.1, and we still have people within the Ranking Factory that started with us at $19.95 a month, and they're still paying $19.95 a month. So don't think that if you get into this and we keep building modules that your price point goes up. You're locked in for life with us, no matter where you come into the process. you stay with us forever at that price. We do not play that game of upselling. No, Blake, you cannot get it in 1995. If you were here a year ago, you could have.
So we now have Spanish, Portuguese, Russian, and English all stacked
Oh my God.
in here. So
We're going to be able to sell this module for exactly the same prices we're selling Ranky Factory for.
I
This
think
is
we ought to sell it
ridiculous.
for more.
This is pretty cool.
So can you see all of these? We got 5 times 3, that's 15.
Oh my God.
And so basically, yeah, we're kind of reaching out there just a little bit.
Wow. All
But
right.
that's
So
this side times 3 by the 3 different languages. And we can do that actually for all the languages. It just takes a while to get through it all. That's the problem. That's why I only want to do 3.
right.
And so we can see, you know, like I said, we've got the different languages here. Different language here. Go back over to Korean. I think that's Korean. Maybe not yet.
Hey guys, you know, while he's doing that, can you just give me like 1 or 2 words to describe what you've just seen? Like wow, awesome, incredible, insane are appropriate words. OMG, blow my mind, you know, holy shit. That's amazing, ridiculously awesome weaponry, gangbusters. Wow, sweet and evil. Gary, sweet and evil, baby. That's awesome.
So yeah, that's our.
I love that. We're gonna call this the sweet and evil module.
That's our translation stacker inside of our, basically we call it our article stacker.
Holy
but
crap!
that's
I'm
the
sorry.
that's the new hidden button right down here at the bottom. You got to click on that baby to open up this whole situation where we can basically stack all of our languages if we want to in one run. I mean, we can do the whole thing. Remember you told me you wanted an easy button, Patrick?
Yes, sir. Because
This
that's me. I need an
button.
easy button because they don't exist on the internet. They just don't. There is no
Now, I just made one.
cheesy Pete. They're suggesting this be an OTO. Wow, wonderful. Wow, thanks, guys. I'm blown away myself. I can't even. Yeah, I'm shedding tears. I'm so excited about this. This is amazing. Cool. All righty. Well, we're getting a little length in time
Yep.
here. What other amazing things do you have for us, Leon?
Well, there's really only one at the moment. We've got more coming. We're still a long ways from being done, but it's the G Drive tool, and it's basically the same as our link grabber, except in this case, what we're actually looking for and finding are edit links. So if you're logged into the account you're searching on, once you find an edit link, you can click on it and go in and edit whatever it is you're wanting to edit. So this makes it easy to get to your document, anything that's on Drive. If you can pull up the edit link, you can go in and edit it as long as you're logged into that account that you've chosen here. And so once you have your edit link, it makes it easy to get over there and edit it. So it's pretty fast. So that's pretty much it. Patrick, if you want to take it away.
Okay. How many in the chat box? Just tell me what you guys think. If you didn't know what the price of this was, what do you think the value of what you've seen today would be worth in terms of, you know, a monthly cost to save you as much time as you've seen this happen? I'm just curious because a lot of people have not seen this before. And, you know, what do you think the value of what you've seen is a fair price? What do we got? 500 a month. He's my guy.
Yeah, set him up, Patrick.
You're signed up. 100 a month, 97 a month, 127 a month. Actually, you guys are probably pretty close. What I'm going to do is put the buy link in here for you right now, and it's going to take you to the home page. Literally, we're $197 up front for a single license and $29 a month, guys. $29 a month for everything that you've seen here. And we're also, because Robert is a really, really good friend of ours and has asked us to do something special, a lot of people that use the Ranking Factory have a VA. And we're going to throw in as a bonus, and we have to set this up by hand, so give us a little bit of time, but we're going to give you 2 licenses for the price of 1, no matter what program you buy. And if you buy the lifetime version of this, then you're going to get 3 extra licenses for this. And we just want to create more value. We're not done building, but once you're locked into this price point, no matter what we build, no matter how much more, value we add to this, our pricing for you never changes.
You want
Never
me to tell
changes.
more on what's coming, Patrick?
Yes.
Well, next we're doing Google Sheets. Then we're going to do a Google Drawing Stack. We also have maps coming. We have calendars coming, and there's even more after that.
Okay. Yeah, and the maps is going to be incredible.
And if you purchase this, you get inclusion into the Skype group, and that right there is worth more than your $29 a month.
And we even have a Facebook group now too.
Yes, we are starting with a Facebook group as well.
Hey, Patrick, somebody's asking about a coupon code for the lifetime. Do we have a special deal for the lifetime?
Yeah, if they want a lifetime, what I need them to do is contact me, because and we will offer a $200 discount for lifetime, but I need to do that privately, and I don't want to put that on the page, or I haven't set that up as a coupon yet. Okay?
Well, I hope to see some of you in the Skype group.
Absolutely. And if you get in there, and get this, we're actually having a training webinar this Friday, so you'll get access to that too. And we have training modules, videos for each of these sections, so that will help you learn what you need to know. Pretty much, it's mostly pretty simple. It's fill in the blanks and hit the button. Patrick told me I had to make this so he could use it.
And you did a great job.
But what was it you told me when I first talked about the link grabber, Patrick?
Well, I thought it was awesome.
No, not the first time.
Oh, what did I tell you?
You told me, what's that? What's it going to do?
Oh, I had no freaking clue. I really didn't have any idea. So why are you doing that? What's the purpose of the link grabber? And then when, he showed me what the programmer had built for us, and the possibilities of those links and backlinks and backlinks and more links and more backlinks, then the light bulb went off for the value of that simple little tool based on keywords that we can pull from our Google Drive.
Well, I didn't even show this part. We actually have a built-in way to take those links that you pull up here. It will convert them into an HTML doc, and so you can actually get backlinks to your backlinks, just the push of a button right here with convert and upload.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, that's built in, and when the Google Sheets come online, it's going to make that so easy to grab these links and drop them over in that module too.
Okay. See, the nice thing about the team that we have is a lot of the things that we develop come from, and Terry alluded to this before. Terry or Liam, pull up the Skype group. It's fine. Just pull it up on your screen.
Well,
For the Ranking Factory.
Yeah, I've got to get in there first.
or I can get Terry to. The fact of the matter is, I want you to just kind of scroll through the Skype group. We have look at what Dr. Leon is sharing with you. Okay,
There's Terry.
there's 423 people in the Ranking Factory Skype group, and it's only 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So open up the link, click on the Ranking Factory, open it up, and scroll up. Just scroll up.
Well, okay.
Just scroll up. It's today. Look at this is today. Okay, look at today. Keep going.
Well, your thing's in the way. I can only go so far.
Okay. But you can see that this is a very, very, very active between today and yesterday. Okay. There's hundreds of posts of people asking questions and making suggestions. Okay. And my point is a lot of what Gary and I have built since the day after Christmas, which is when we began to build this software or rebuild it. We did have a previous version that didn't work very well and still doesn't work very well, but we've rebuilt this since the day after Christmas. In 3 months, this is what we've been able to build for our members. And, you know, I think that's a pretty incredible feat. But what Terry was saying earlier, the Skype group is literally gold. If you just were in the Skype group and just listened to what people were saying and how to do things, even regardless of the Ranking Factory, just the ideas and the concepts, you would learn so much to help your own business and your own marketing efforts. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
You know what's ironic to the guys listening on the call is the people in this room haven't seen what you had to see today. They haven't seen any of this new stuff.
No, they haven't.
It's not been released yet.
Well, yeah, part of it hasn't been released. Some of it has, but the webinar training on a couple of those things you've seen today will be on Friday.
Yes, exactly. We're going to go over it on Friday. So we do appreciate you guys. Any questions? Let's open it up, you know, the last 10, 15 minutes here for any questions, anything at all. Just ask away. Okay. Why would I consider the lifetime if the monthly is $29? Well, it's $197.29, and we have the lifetime there, Drew, because a lot of individuals want to do a one-time purchase. And if you look at and do the math on this, the annual payment for this of $200 plus $360 is $560 in the first year. Okay, so it's $800 or more in this, and $900 in the second year. With a $200 coupon, the lifetime value of this is $797. That's why you would consider this. Okay, and that's why more than, I don't know, we did a webinar a couple months ago, and over half of the people bought the lifetime. I personally don't like lifetimes because it limits our money that we have coming in to pay our developer who's on retainer with us. And so, you know, we offer it as a courtesy for those of the individuals that would like to have it that way. How can I be sure that you guys are going to be around to support the software ongoing? No offense, Jamil, no offense taken. We started this project a year and a half ago. We're still doing it. We're still building. We're still increasing it. And you can, you know, I can pop anybody in the Skype group that wants to go in there just to hang out, and you can ask questions in there about what the people that are in the group think of Gary and myself and Dr. Leon and Terry. You know, we're not burn developers. This is our business. This isn't a product. This is our business. You know, we are developing this product as a business. So, you know, you're not going to see us come out 2 weeks from now with a product that's not associated with our business. And It's a fair question, but it's also a question that's impossible to answer. You just have to kind of take it for what it's worth. And, you know, if your answer is you don't think we're going to be around for that, then I think that maybe this isn't the right place to be. But I can pretty much tell you, you go on JB Zoo and look at all the shiny objects that you get every day, every week, every month in your email. 90% of those are not going to be around in a year. And yet through, you know, trials and tribulations, Gary and I are still here rebuilding what we wanted to build. So that's my answer. How many? Go ahead.
Let me say something, Patrick. I wasn't on this project until like January, and so I would not have started this project if it wasn't going to be around, because a lot of what you're seeing in here comes from me personally, my mind, and it's my thoughts working to get this set up the way it is and keep it simple and to keep it effective. This is the stuff I've been using for a long time, and stuff that's even beyond what I was using for a long time, because it just took too long to do. You couldn't do some of this stuff manually. Some of the stuff that I did would take me days manually. I mean, and now I can do it in minutes. And so I would not have come on board if this was going to go away. You know, there was just no way. I'm not going to let my secrets out if this is going to go away. So that's my feelings on it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thanks, Dr. Leon. Terry, any final words for everybody that's here?
Just looking at what Leon showed us with the OctiStacker, stacking those 5 articles, and you don't have to go for 5 deep. I go 15 deep myself, but you can go, you know, there's not a limit on that. And now that you can just hit that translation stacker, oh my gosh, suddenly the OctiStacker is going to be my favorite module, I think, instead of HTML creator. Maybe not, but the ability to stack these properties, though, gives you the ability to rank most any URL, which means any video, if you're doing CPA offers, if you're doing affiliate stuff, if you're working for clients, if you're trying to get your uncle's pizza shop ranked, whatever it is, this software will allow you to do it much quicker, much more efficiently, and you still get the bonus of that Skype group where you can make lifelong friends. You can meet people with the same issues you're having. You say, I'm trying to rank my such and such. Well, so am I, and I tried this and it didn't work. I tried this and it did work. People will share what works, what doesn't work, and I think the Skype group is worth more than the software, but the software is pretty darn good.
Patrick, do you have the link to Keyword Translation Factory?
Yeah.
And why don't we give everybody that attended today, give that link to them so they can have the free version of something besides this software that's still pretty amazing as well?
Sure, I can go right into the chat and put that in there for everybody. Explain what the keyword, pull it up on your window there, Dr. Leon, and just kind of share a little bit about what it is and how we use it to make our job within the ranking factory even easier.
Well, I'm going to have to close a few hundred windows here.
It's okay. Terry, you use it all the time, right?
Yes, almost every day.
So let's go over there.
It not only allows you to combine keywords, it allows you to get new LSI keywords. It allows you to, I'll be honest with you, the free version, I don't remember everything it offers you, but you got a really good tool there. Play around with it. You'll be impressed.
Leon, I'll go through that real quickly.
Yeah, we've got, what I did was we took a tool that I had liked, and we made it even better. We basically take 4 columns, and you can put words or part of sentences in these columns. And so you can make your long tail keywords. You can actually make full sentences, whatever you want to do here. But by doing that, we're able to just hit a button and get all of these right here. So let's see where the clear button is.
Delete combinations.
Yep, there it is. In here we delete them by hitting the X, and over here we don't. So it's kind of gets a little confusing. But the thing that's interesting is that we can leave a column out by unchecking this include box. We can change the order of these columns, so we can rearrange this whole situation in just a matter of seconds. We can add more and more and more. But if we hit the combined results or create combination, boom, it's just that fast. I just created 350 different long tail keywords or titles or whatever you're wanting them for. And so that's what this part of the tool is. And if we go down, we have our drop down for the LSI keywords. In the free version, you can find 8 at a time. If you upgrade to the pro version, you can find 64, 512. The next feature down is our top 10 titles drop down. In the free version, you can find 10, I believe. And if you upgrade to the pro version, you can go up to 30 at a time. And so you put in your keyword and you hit run, and it'll get you the top titles right off of page 1 of Google, or the front 30 titles. And so basically the next next section is the scrub keywords, where you can put in a list and scrub it and remove whatever you don't want in the list. There's a lot of ways you can work with this. And then the next one is actually the wrap, where you can take your list and wrap it with quotes, with brackets, with whatever you want, words. There's a lot of ways to work with this and create more sentences and stuff too as well. And then we have the spin text maker, which is one of my favorites. When I got into this, basically we can take this and put our stuff in here and hit, we could load the keywords or load whatever we have. And then once we load them, we can turn this into spin text. So like in this case, we'd take these Google Shorties and turn them into one long spin text. So you could spin off a different link inside that spin text each time you unspun it. But if we go on down, here's the really neat part. You can put spin text in here, and you can unspin it with this spin the text button. You can actually load keywords in here and turn that into spin text. We have a download the text, we have a copy the text, but once you translate that, I mean, you pull that spin, it comes out down here, and now you can translate that into any language you want. And so basically all your Google Translate languages are in this. And so that's the translation is a pro feature though. But that's what we have inside of the spin text, which is really slick. So you can take your spin text and make it even better by using this section. And then we have kind of a watered down version of the HTML creator, where you can do some unique things though. We can put URLs in, but separated on lines, separated by commas, separated by spaces. Then we can pull all the links in a bulleted list or a numbered list, and we can basically make an HTML doc, and we can anchor text that doc as well. And so, we can convert this into HTML code once we convert it. And so that's in there. Then we have, get back up there. That was HTML. We have a word character count in here. So this is basically a giant utility section. And we have a spell checker in here. And then we have a rearrange word tool, where you can take all these words and rearrange them into, where is the, oh, it's over here. Boom, into the different orders. So you get all the different orders that you can possibly imagine. In this case, just those few letters like that, we have 40,320 combinations right there. So you can rearrange words into different combinations, or anything else you want to rearrange. So that's basically the tool, and you can get the free version with the link that Patrick's put in there.
Okay, I want to thank Gary and Brian and Blake and Scott and Jim. Looks like everybody. If you're in, send me a private message on Skype. My Skype message is Patrick Tuttle, PatrickTuttle, with no spaces. We have a special little bonus that we're going to give everybody today with us. So if anybody Skypes me, it's a little tool that will help you, organize and really SEO your images. And it's another area that people don't really take a lot of time doing, but I built a little WordPress plugin that does all that for you, and it's really cool. And so for anybody that picks this up today with us on any one of the programs or plans, we're going to go ahead and give that to you as well as a bonus for today. Okay, so really appreciate it. And any other questions, or shall we say thank you very much? And we're glad that everybody was here. I will have a replay. As soon as it's ready, I will send it out to everybody and, ask that not only you look at it again, highlight areas that you have questions about. One thing about Gary and myself, we're always available. I put my phone number in there. I put my Skype number in there. You have my email. We do not hide. We are here for you in front, of the bus, so to speak. So reach out, touch us, and share it with your friends, other people that that this could be of help. Share it. If you do, just let us know that you did, and if they buy, we'll take care of you in some way with some special stuff that we may be able to help you with. Okay. So with that being said, Terry, thank you. Leon, I can't bring you on too many more webinars without you telling me what you're going to do, because it blows me away more than I can even imagine. And I'm just, it's just crazy, freaky stuff. So thank you, everybody. Just as we leave, give me a 1 if you enjoyed it, 2 if you learned something, even if you don't buy. And we appreciate the opportunity of teaching you something that you might be able to use. Even though you may not have bought our product. Our goal is to have you walk away with some nugget that you didn't know before that you can use in your business. All right. So we thank you very much. And I forgot to ask for a 10. I got a 10. Thank you, sir. We appreciate it. Everybody have a great day. Bye-bye.